Well, welcome back, and I'm sitting here on a Tuesday taking a breather, a break, and I figured I'd finish completing planning out my week for this week, and I thought, why not make a video and share how I plan my week as a caregiver and I guess a stay-at-home wife. So, I'm usually just a person who would take a piece of paper, write down a list of things that I need to do for that day, and then cross them off as I complete each task. So, having a planner like this is something very new to me. I use my phone. I have a dry erase board that I usually use in our kitchen, and I write down the list of things for me to do in my grocery list. And then I also have a monthly calendar in our kitchen that I also put down things like appointments or whatever. I kind of wanted something where I can plan out the week, not just day by day, but I wanted something where I can see what I need to do for each day for that whole entire week. As a caregiver, our job is very stressful as it is caring for someone. So I really have to keep track of her goals, her progress, what she needs to focus on. This planner kind of allows me to have a plan. I mean, it's always good to have a plan anyways, no matter what you do in life. But this kind of allows me to organize my thoughts and put something in place. But caring for my mother who had suffered a massive stroke, there's always setbacks, and you can't plan too far ahead because that is just going to drive you crazy. I mean, I can handle week by week. And you don't know if she's just going to be completely, totally wiped out. We don't know if we have to go to ER. We don't know, if she's having a good day or a bad day. We can just keep planning as we go. But definitely, be flexible. Don't get too caught up where you get too stressed out if you're not sticking to your plan. I mean, this is just to help you out to keep organized, and it really has reduced the stress and the anxiety for myself. So I just want to share you kind of like how I plan. So as you can see, and I love to have color-coded planning techniques, I guess. So like for blue is for all my meal planning. I only have dinner on here because that's what I want to concentrate on for is in this meal planner. I have a separate form that I use that has like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but I don't want to add that on here. The main focus for me to plan every week would be basically the dinners. So for her, anything in purple is pertaining to her care. And again, for her, these are just highlighted areas that I would like to focus on for that week. We have a separate dry erase board that I have hanging in her room, and it has like today's goals are, and I list the goals that we want to focus on for that day. And then as well as on the other side of it, it has like the time that she was last repositioned and changed. But maybe I'll make another video for that. It doesn't really have like her morning routine, afternoon and night routine. Like I don't have morning vitals, medication on here. I don't have any of that. Again, this is just kind of like highlighted focus that I want to kind of plan throughout the week for her. That would be totally separate. I have a binder of everything, and maybe I'll make a video on that, on how I keep her stuff all organized and separate. So again, back to my planner and how I plan. Anything in black is basically my to-do list, and anything in green is for her physical therapy. I also used a bright pink for any kind of fun activity, and we usually have regular potlucks and dinners over our house because we're just really not able to leave the house. So our friends, they love to come over and we entertain, and we usually have potlucks, and then we have game night right after our dinner, and it really is a lot of fun. My mom loves to join us at the table and just talk and laugh. She loves to socialize, and they just totally adore her, and she just has a blast during the week. So anything in red is anything major for us, like doctor's appointments or anything that is of a concern. I like this planner because it also has a glance of the whole month, so it allows me to put things so I could kind of look out for the whole month. Like for this one flags me for a doctor's appointment she has, so I got to arrange transportation to pick us up, and I got to make sure that she's dressed and prepared and ready to go. On the side here, this on the notes, I put grocery budget and meal planning. Now that is something that I'm trying to hold myself to, I guess, as goals. I'm starting out the new year with having a grocery budget and meal planning this year. So far so good. Last week was my first week. I don't have any nice stickers or anything fancy in here. So I guess the only thing I really have is this right here. It says be kind and be caring. This is just a nice little reminder for myself, and it's really been very helpful as a caregiver. You know, there are some challenging days, as I'm sure, you know, anybody really has any challenging days, but, you know, to be caring for someone 24/7, you have to have a lot of patience and compassion. Back to the post-it notes, and caring for somebody, you know, you just have to be very flexible. This is just a plan. This is just trying to organize my thoughts, and with the post-it notes, it allows flexibility, such as you have to remember to schedule time for yourself, because you don't want to get caregiver burnout. So as you can see, I have a post-it here for manicure and pedicure for mom and self, and that actually, I think it started here on Wednesday, and then I moved it to Thursday, and then eventually we got it done on Friday, but we got it done, so that's great. I try to do something once a week for ourselves. On Monday, I had down trim nails, hang calendar, and painting for her, a sponge bath and dust her area. Had to reschedule her doctor's appointments, sign her checks because I'm in charge of all of her bills, checking and savings accounts. We concentrated on exercises and stretches that day. She assists with dinner, and on this day we had Philly cheese stuffed bell peppers, and what I did was I just chopped all of the vegetables and I put them in little serving dishes, and I brought those all to her so that she can mix them all up and then layer the bell peppers, and they turned out delicious. I mean, she loves cooking and baking, so it allows her to be involved, to focus on something, and to feel like she contributes. And she always has a good time when she helps me, so I make sure that I incorporate at least one or twice a week, if time allows, and finding if I can find a recipe or a dish that she can help me out with. The walkie-talkie, my husband had purchased walkie-talkies for us for Christmas, and that is also going to allow me to actually safely go outside to take walks on our street. I used to walk all the time, 2.5 miles. I was actually getting up to the point where I started jogging half of that. So I was really proud of myself. But after her stroke, it came to a complete halt. And it's really hard for me to leave the house safely. So we're just trying to teach her how to use the walkie-talkie. She's doing great, but she kind of forgets to keep pressing and holding down the button while she's talking. So we have to kind of practice with her on that before I start taking my walks around the neighborhood. On this day, on Friday, I dust and wiped down her area. I restocked her supplies. I vacuumed, and we concentrated on stretches that day. Here I had just kind of like for fun, to keep her occupied and entertained. She went on YouTube and she was viewing all of the lemon drizzle cake recipes and we were planning to bake, which we did. We baked a lemon drizzle cake on Saturday, which it turned out so delicious. I'll have to share that recipe with you down below in the description box. But for Saturday, trimmed her hair, assist with baking, and then we wanted to focus on standing and doing weights, and again with the walkie-talkie for that time. Down here on Sunday, we did a sponge bath. We changed all her bed linens, and then we had her mainly get in the wheelchair for that Sunday. For this week, I'm still kind of finishing up on this week, but I'm almost done. But for like Monday, yesterday, we concentrated on handwriting and spelling, and then we worked on cards to send to her coworkers. Today we had a call to her sisters, and then we shampooed her hair, And then tomorrow I'd like to focus on weights, and then her left vision neglect, and then continue working on with her puzzle with her, and then put her in the wheelchair for dinner. I like to, on Tuesday and Thursday, as you can see here, I have a part-time caregiver for 3 hours each on that Tuesday and Thursday. So during those 3 hours go by so fast. So I have to strategically plan what I need to do while she's here, because that's it for me to go run errands. And tomorrow I definitely have to work back on our budget and then prep for our taxes. On Thursday, I have to make those reservations for our next week's doctor's appointment. Friday, we're going to concentrate on weights and stretches, and then put her in a wheelchair for dinner. And then Saturday, we're going to concentrate on standing again. And then if weather permits, I like to take her outside in her wheelchair and go for a stroll around the neighborhood. And then wheelchair for dinner. So one of the reasons why I chose this planner was because it's vertical and it starts Monday through Sunday. The only complaint that I have of this one is that the Sunday is so darn small. I need it to be higher up here. So I'm thinking about doing like white out and then move it up here so I have more of a list. I know Sunday's supposed to be a rest day, but not in my house. So I need some more space there. Another thing about this planner that I want to show you too, if you're interested in getting this, is in the back it has future planning. So for the year 2017, if something is going to have to flag you for next year, you can go in the back and then write your notes. That way when you're transferring all your information to your 2017 planner, it'll be a little bit easier. This one down here has a holiday list, not only just for this year, but also next year and the following year. It has a map, and then it has telephone numbers and address section so that I can go ahead and put down all of her doctors and specialists, hospital numbers, everything, so that when I put everything in my bag, I got everything at my hands. Because a lot of times if you go to a hospital or to a doctor's office, you know, a lot of times they'll say, well, who saw her, blah, blah, and then they'll say, well, do you have that information? Do you have the phone number? So if you have everything on here, it makes just life easier. That way it's all in one spot and you don't have to go running through your phone, because a lot of times you're already under stress when you're in ER. So, and in the back you have notes. So I really like this. I mean, Staples I thought was a good place. The only thing is that I didn't realize that planners were so darn expensive. This one here, I think it was $19 or $20. Oh yeah, in the front it has dates to remember, which I still need to fill out, and then it has a 3-year outlook in the front. But if you can tell from my hand, it's not too small and it's not too big. It's just a perfect size to just throw into my bag, you know, and it is a Staples brand. So, and then for the color coding, what I'm using is, I'm just currently using my Bic pens, and I got these at CVS with coupons, and they were completely free. But you know, I saw in this weekend's newspaper that they had several coupons from Bic and Sharpie, so you might find some really good deals out there. And Dollar Tree, the dollar store, 99-cent store, they have so many supplies with planners, calendars, even those little, like those filers for your receipts and so forth, that I'm starting to use. And I will try to, you know, I'm still doing hauls, so I'll be probably doing another haul video, but you know, you can definitely find less expensive planners. And then, oh, and then I went to the thrift store today too, and they had some planners there too as well. So I thought those were kind of cool to see there. So this is my week, and this is how I plan. Trying to get everybody on track and organized in my thoughts, but basically it's going better. I definitely recommend you getting a planner, get organized, whatever works for you. You know, you got to be less stressful in our situation, and it's definitely become that. So hope any of this was useful to you, and I hope you guys are having a great week. Okay, talk to you later.